last time on Adventures in Trucking with Indiana Jack.
And the problem is, when I started up this morning in Caddo Valley, Arkansas, my ELD was not communicating via Bluetooth to my iPad mini. So nothing I did would make it communicate, so I did an update, which Apple had an update waiting, so I did it, and it's still not communicating correctly. So we're going to go over to the customer, and while they're unloading me, hopefully we can get this communication problem worked out with the computers.
Our story continues.
Well, we actually have a door right there, door 5. And they want me to slide my tandems. And let's get her straight, just for the fun of it. Harder to get it in on one try with your tandem slid, because you're a lot longer. There we go. One note of caution: if you pull out with this chalk on, the edges of that are so sharp they will puncture your tires. So don't pull out with that chalk on there, because you don't want to have to replace your tires in the back. People believe that hot springs, that the water here has some kind of medicine. I hear that about every place that has hot springs, but they believe that here in Hot Springs. It's also the boyhood home of Bill Clinton, a president here at the United States. And it's I didn't know this, the largest Pentecostal denomination in the United States. The Assemblies of God traces to the beginnings of Hot Springs. My family has ties to that in South Bend, Indiana. I didn't know that. I always thought they were based in Springfield, Missouri. Something like that. Anyway, that's where we are here in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Well, we got loaded, only took them an hour. That's good. We're out of here. Going through Hot Springs, Arkansas. Maybe we'll see Bill Clinton's massage parlor on the way out of here. I'm hearing air going through my tanks. But my air is holding, so I'm not losing air. I doubt you can hear that. Now it's gone. So I have 31,000 pounds, which is a little heavier than what I've been hauling, but nothing like the olden days. And we're actually hauling Coca-Cola bottle caps. And I've never, that I remember, I don't think I've ever hauled the caps. I've hauled the bottles before, but never the caps. Okay. And for some reason, my GPS just lost its signal. Unfortunately, your trucker GPS has stopped right in the middle. Now what do I do? Try to start it back up again, otherwise I have to find a place to pull over. There we go. It picked right up. I didn't know that there were, this is actually a chain of mountains. I'm not going to say the mountain chain because I'll say it wrong, but there's some pretty big little hills around here. All right, let's roll. Well, we've made it to Olive Branch, Mississippi. At a road that's almost impossible to get out on, but sometimes you get lucky like we're doing right now. And I was in a bad mood because I was on 78, of course, where we just came from, and going through Memphis on 78 is not my favorite thing. So hopefully there will be a place here to park. Last time I came here I had to pay to park, so but it was later in the day, so hopefully because we're early there will be parking. Well, we're going to cut through here really slow. And you know what? All the parking places right in front of us are the paid parking. No, they're not. We're going to have to pay. Well, we'll go around this side and Maybe we'll find a place back in the back. It's only 3 o'clock. There is not one place open. Look at the colors on that Kenworth. I like to see unique trucks like that. There was a place back there, but it had a trailer in it. Like a trailer, but with no tractor. Well, should I park along here? Oh, I hate to be the guys that park along here, but there's literally no parking. I'm backing up so that I can get my trailer tires close to the curb. All right, parked for the night here in Olive Branch, Mississippi. Whew. What a day. We started out with lots of computer problems and ended up with a day like today. We really didn't do that many miles, only like 400 miles, but I'm glad the day's over, had a good day. So if that happens to you with your logs, it could happen where your tablet or whatever you're going to use for your logs doesn't update, and the DOT officer wants to see your logs. He's not going to be able to see them until that finishes updating, and then you got to make sure the Bluetooth is operating correctly. So I hope that doesn't happen to you like what happened to us this morning, and get stopped at the same time. Well, thanks for riding along with me today. I'm glad to be out here amongst all the trucks. I'm glad I can show you all the trucks. So until the morning, we'll see you then. Good morning. We're letting her warm up before we get going on to Tampa, Florida. Today we'll probably do a few hundred miles. We don't have to be there till Monday, so we have time. sorry, no breakfast for anyone. They don't have breakfast anymore. Dang. We'll have to stop and get breakfast somewhere else. What are we gonna do? No breakfast, and it's a 35-mile-an-hour wind gusts this morning, so we will be cautious. We're pretty heavy, so I'm not really worried about that, but plus it's a headwind. So let's get rolling down on 22 southbound to Birmingham, and we'll probably be getting fuel in Jasper at the Loves there. She's low a gallon, so we're putting some oil in. Got a little bit of an oil leak, nothing serious. And we got some fuel, and we're ready to go now. Tupelo, Mississippi. And since Flying J didn't have breakfast this morning, I had to come to Love's for breakfast. So let's get on the road. We'll drink our coffee and eat our sandwich while driving down the road. Tupelo, Mississippi. We are about halfway between Montgomery and Dothan, Alabama. And it's been a great trip. This usually isn't my favorite road. It still isn't my favorite road here on 231, but not been a lot of traffic today, and that helps. The worst part is through Montgomery. And it looks like we're going to go to that Love's. I forget the name of the city it's in. You guys have been there with me. Maybe we'll go further. I got 4 hours left on my clock, so we'll decide when we get to that Love's at the end of, right where this road meets 10. We have stopped here in Dothan, Alabama. See that mud flap right there? I've always been missing one for this side. So I've stopped here to get some bolts and screws to go on there to put it together. You'd be surprised at how much mud and rocks and everything flies up there on the back of my truck. So we're gonna stop real quick in here in Love's, in Lowe's, and get some bolts.
The herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King, peace on earth and mercy mild.
It was pretty easy. They had them. So let's get out of here.
Joyful all nations rise, join the tribe.
All right, we got them. Now we're either off to this Love's, not too far from here, or the Tallahassee Pilot. I'm not sure. We are 3 miles from the Love's here in Cottondale, Florida. Could it be a nicer day? I don't think so. And we are going to stay at the Love's and put our mud flap on and I have showers at Love's, but I don't have free internet. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. If I go to Pilot, I'm out of showers, but I have internet. But if I go to Love's, it's vice versa. So we will go with showers. Be there shortly. We have arrived. Cottondale, Florida. And it's 77 degrees here. 4 o'clock. Should we stay on the end? Sure. And we're here. Man, it's nice here. Cool weather, 70 degrees. Beautiful. Let's get this mud flap on. All right, we got a wrench, our nuts and bolts, and our mud flap. All right, we're good to go. Well, I had a good shower. I gave them my card and I said I'd like a shower, and they said, well, you don't have any showers on your card. And I said, well, I fueled in Tupelo, Mississippi. I have to have a shower. And the pump accepted my card, and he said, there's nothing we can do, you don't have a shower. But they broke down and gave me a free shower, even though they said I didn't have a shower on my car. So kudos to Love's for doing that and not arguing and making the customer happy. Good night, everyone. Good morning, everyone. There are alligators in that water over there. And there's a big green truck right next to me that could be an alligator, but it's a Peterbilt. Nice truck. Nice truck it is. Let's get out of here. And we have about 200 miles more to go until we get to our delivery in Tampa. Unfortunately, that sign is so true. This area of Florida is infested with water moccasins and rattlesnakes and, of course, alligators. All kind of things that actually come right up here to these rest areas. So when you're in Florida and you're in a rest area, be careful of where you step. And let's continue our journey. Ever since Hurricane Irma, this particular swamp right here that you're looking at flooded it so bad that I see alligators in those waters right there, right up against the road, whereas I never used to see alligators that close. And that means there's no fence between the alligators and the road. So the term we truckers use as a gator in the road here could actually mean a literal gator and not just a piece of rubber. We have made it to our staging area here in San Antonio, Florida. And it's 74 degrees. And we're going to stay at the Flying J overnight until we go to our delivery first thing in the morning and deliver our soda pop tops for Coke. I'll bet you haven't heard it called soda pop in a long time. And they widened this street. It's really nice now, even though some of the barrels are still out. They've made it real roomy. A friend of mine was just telling me in Tampa there's been some kind of mass shooting there or something. So I'm gonna have to check that out. Make sure we're not going to that area in the morning. I don't mean as massive as the Las Vegas shooting, but I don't know, something like that. And we've got a quarter a tank of fuel, so we're good there.
You have arrived at your destination. On the left side, Flying J travel plaza number 624.
It looks like even all the pay places are taken up here. Let's go back in the nosebleed section. Oh boy. It's friggin' jam-packed. And it's 2 o'clock. I'm not surprised. There's one on the end. People ask me why I don't take more shots of Volvos. I don't like the way that they paint them and have the big giant logo on the front. It just doesn't look right to me. I know that some people like that, but I don't like the way that looks. If I were to buy a brand new Volvo, I would never have a giant Volvo logo painted on the roof like that. Well, I ordered my chicken dinner from Flying J, and the lady told me that they were out of biscuits. She said if I just wait there a minute or two, they'll bring some out. And I looked at the holder where they keep the biscuits, and I just kept looking at it, and they never did bring any out. So I realized at that point I'm just going to have to eat my dinner with no biscuits tonight. I wandered back to my truck, ate my dinner, and went to bed at Flying J. Well, we're at the Tampa truck stop just down the street. They wouldn't take me at Coca-Cola early this morning, so here I am looking at another one of those Volvo trucks that have the big giant Volvo logo painted on it. I'm kind of grumpy because they wouldn't take me at Coca-Cola, so let's get some coffee and turn a bad day into good. This place is more like a liquor store than it is a truck stop, even though there's lots of trucks at it. All right, we're getting out of this sewage receptacle known as a truck stop, and hopefully Coca-Cola will take us. Now, I filled up my power steering fluid, and now I don't have that whining in my steering wheel anymore. But I do have a squeal, sounds like a fan belt. So it's always something. I don't know what, it's a pretty loud squeal, so usually when it's a fan belt at high speeds it goes away, but this one doesn't. So I'm debating on whether to put it in the shop. This is not going to be an easy place to get out on, although there is a turning lane out there. Come on, baby. Hear that chirping? I don't know if you guys can hear that. It sounds like someone's drowning a bird. And we're only 3 miles away from
0.5 miles.
Coca-Cola.
East of Dr. Art F. Pickering Jr. Boulevard, State Road 570.
That chirping noise was not happening until I put the steering wheel fluid in. All right, well, we're back here at Coca-Cola. Hopefully they'll take us. We're 25 minutes ahead of our appointment time, so hopefully they'll give us a door. So, like, how long do I have to stand here? All right, we have a door. Yard dog is over there moving it. Maybe I should get a job as a yard dog. You know, I've heard that yard dogs are offended that they're called yard dogs, but we're called road dogs, so we might as well call them yard dogs if we're road dogs. I'm not offended by that. But I'm not offended by a lot of things that everyone else is offended at. So we live in an offended world. Let's see if we can do a big old U-turn here. And we'll back right into door number 11 there. Maybe we'll offend somebody on the way. All right, we've got plenty of room here. You know what? My truck's not making that whistling noise now. Go figure. Boy, it gets hot. I'm hot right now. The sun. And we want to get those tires right on that line and then follow it in. And we didn't shoot it, and we didn't overshoot the line enough. Maybe we're okay. The trailer's fine, but I'm crooked. And I like to be straight, so let's pull up just enough to straighten us. You and I are crooked. There we go. Yeah, that's good. There we go. Well, we found out what the chirping is. Losing a fan belt. So I'm glad that it's nothing major. So I have a backup fan belt I can put in there, so all is good. And here are pieces of it. Well, I'm unloading stuff for the holidays, going home for a few days. We've actually had a pretty good time the last few, weeks. So, while I'm home for a little while for the holidays, gonna have to get Old Red fixed, spend some time with the family. Hope you guys have a good holiday season, Christmas, New Year's. Thanks for riding along. I'm Indiana Jack. We'll see you next time.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. The tidings we bring to you and your kid. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Ha 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 ha!